Good evening. Good evening. Good evening from Montreal. And uh, you know, how does one begin? How does one begin to talk about what's happening in the world? Because we're seeing taking place here is very tragic. Very tragic what we're seeing taking place here in Gaza at the moment. We're seeing again in an historical perspective, we're seeing the total destruction, this total destruction of a country, and we're seeing the total destruction of a culture, an attempted total destruction of a culture. I don't claim to be an expert. I don't claim to be an expert at all. I don't claim to be, but you don't have to be an expert to voice an opinion on the world community. Anybody can voice their opinion. And you know, what we're seeing is horrendous suffering, like I said, and horrendous destruction we're seeing taking place in Gaza. And a lot of people believe that this destruction is justified. They're using the October the 7th attack of Hamas on the Israelis. They're using this as a justification to mold the country, to level down everything that's standing in the country. You know, October the 7th, let me begin by saying, I don't approve of what Hamas did. I don't approve of any violence in the world. This is my ideology. My ideology is a non-violent ideology. So I begin by saying that I don't approve what Hamas did on October the 7th. But to use what Hamas did and use it as an excuse to do what they want to do. This is what Israel has done. The Israeli government has used the events of the attack of October 7th by Hamas as a justification that they can do anything now that they can do. They are permitted to do anything. They are permitted to kill women. They are permitted to kill children. They are permitted to. And this does not fly. This rationalization will not fly, will not stand up to scrutiny. It doesn't hold up. Israel is being vicious, and that's a mild word that I'm using. I say it straightforward. Israel is committing war crimes. They are not targeting, the illusion is that they are targeting Hamas targets. That is bullshit. That is total bullshit that they're targeting Hamas targets or whatever. When you begin to bomb hospitals, when you begin to bomb where citizens are living, you bomb schools, you bomb mosques. Take a look at the videos. Take a look at the pictures. They are hitting Hamas. I don't know. Another story, what stands out in my head. In their campaign for good PR, okay, Israel, have they showed you? Sounds cruel what I'm going to say. Have they shown you any dead Hamas soldiers? I haven't heard about this. I haven't been shown this. Instead, using these claims, which have yet to be proved, using claims that Hamas is hiding in hospitals, Hamas is hiding in schools, Hamas is hiding everywhere. Israelis are trying to create their apologetic propaganda, but it's not working. It's not going to work. with certain people in the world. Millions of people across the world are not accepting this bullshit that Israel is peddling as truth. They are not accepting it. And not accepting it, you have seen the protests that are taking place all across the world. People are protesting the inhumanity that is taking place, across Gaza, and which now seems to be spilling. It seems to be spilling on the West Bank too. It seems that Israel is going onto the West Bank too. This is Israel who tells the people at one moment, they tell them, go south. They give them a warning, go south, you know. And okay, people start moving south. When they start moving south, they start shooting the people that are moving south. Now, is that a rational government? Is that a humane government? It's not a humane government. Look at the children, the thousands of children that are dead. The thousands of children that are dead, I repeat it. And the thousands of people that have died. This was not necessary. This was not necessary at all. Israel, I'm just going to give my spin or whatever. I think that Israel was taken off guard, if I use that word. And this is their revenge. This is their revenge. Revenge without emotion. Revenge with rage. Theirs is a murderous rage. This is what we're seeing on the ground. A murderous rage we're seeing on the part of Israel. And, many governments are supporting this. The European government is supporting this. The Canadian government is supporting this. The government of the United States is supporting this. Some countries have spoken out, like Turkey or whatever, have voiced their discontent, and maybe some states in South Africa, which are saying that we're going to bring them in front of the International War Tribunal for war crimes. So when you look at this situation, try to gain a broad perspective. A broad perspective. You don't have to take sides. But look at both sides. Look at both sides, okay? And before you make a judgment, look at the history of Palestine, okay? Again, look at the history of Palestine. Look at the suffering and the humiliation that Palestine has suffered for 75 years. Remember that. Remember that well. Remember it. Because Israel, what it did, it expelled since 1948, since the founding of the Israeli state, it's expelled hundreds of thousands of Palestinians by force and killing too. Israel is not new to killing Palestinians. This is a part of the historical terrain. They have killed many Palestinians. So please don't look at October 7th as only one day to make a judgment. You have to look at the history. Look at the history which precedes, which goes before. So I hope that I brought some reflection in your minds, because it is very hard. It's very hard as an ordinary human being to look upon what's going on at Gaza and to remain calm. Thank you for your time.